welcome back. The Yale Drive extension is underway and could be opened as early as this fall. Ron, what do you think is most beneficial about this new infrastructure?
The new infrastructure has been planned, as we talked a little bit ago, for 25 years, and people wonder why hasn't it taken a hold a lot quicker than it has. I was out today to look at it just to make sure that where it was. All we are doing at this present time is making a driveway into the back of the college as it is today. Its ultimate plan is very beneficial, which will open up Professional Boulevard from Eastern Boulevard over to Robinwood. That will be totally open, but it's not going to be open for years. So now you will have a road from Yale Drive there by Eastern Elementary and Ruth Monroe at the roundabout into the back of the college into a parking lot. Okay? And it will go down a road called Hawk Drive, a little narrow road called Hawk Drive onto Scholar Drive, the road to nowhere. Now, ultimately, it won't be that way. They should have opened it up. You know where they just built the new high store? There off of that road is Professional Court.
Right.
There's only a couple of 100 yards not finished on that road that would intersect Yale Drive. People could come out of the back of the college now, use that road to get out to Robinwood to go on to Boonesboro or to wherever they wanted to.
So Ron, I know we have tried. I know at one point I was told that Senator Miskulski was trying to help us get the money for the bridge, and then that fell through for whatever reason. I know we've talked about this for a long time, this specific project as well as others. Is this a funding issue? I mean, do we just not have the funds to complete the whole project?
It's a priority of funding issue. It depends on what your priorities are. How important is the bridge? Should the state pay for the bridge or should the county pay for the bridge? Should the city participate in the bridge? Because if the city takes it over, I don't know if the city's even going to annex that parcel or not. But it is the infrastructure as planned by Greg Snook and Chief is good infrastructure. It's just done somewhat backwards.
Okay.
Well, I think part of the plan with the extension that we're talking about here is, first of all, currently the college is kind of a dead end, so there's only one way in and out of the college. The second part is this technology park that they're planning to build,
right,
which will bring in fiber connectivity and hopefully provide infrastructure for what I'm guessing is some sort of a plan for future growth and attracting better paying jobs in terms of technology-based things or jobs.
Well, the technology park part I found curious. Eastern Boulevard, look how quickly that grew up in terms of businesses, and there's a lot of businesses that have located around that area. So hopefully this will be the same, and I think that will be a benefit. That it ends though in a parking lot at HCC is a little odd to me. I agree with you, Ron.
Honestly, I think there may be other plans in terms of how that eventually feeds into the campus. But I certainly think you're right. That side of town, because it is adjacent with the college, because it is by the hospital, and it's very visible. It has exposure to 70, right? Because it's right off of 40. So it's easy to get to, unlike some of the other business parks that we have in Hagerstown, which are kind of off the beaten path. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there if marketed correctly and if they spend the effort to attract the right kind of tenants.
Do we have any feel for what the state's appetite is with Governor Hogan on funding any portion of these?
Well, you've already got the money for engineering costs. I mean, that's already been done through Governor Hogan. Governor Hogan's done a tremendous job on supporting Washington County, through local people. So he does care. And I would agree. What should happen in the business park is the hospital should be part of the business park.
Absolutely.
The college should be part of the business park. One on the north of college, the hospital, and that whole area should be a massive park that deals with technology.
Well, and as well as healthcare, as well as a lot of the other related businesses that feed into both the college and the hospital. So I think it's a golden opportunity for attracting those types of companies.
The fiber lines have already a place for the fiber lines.
A great example I would give you is if you look at Shady Grove Hospital, right? Look at the area around Shady Grove Hospital and how much that area has boomed ever since they built those business parks. Now, not necessarily comparing us to Montgomery County, but I think that there is a lot of potential there, again, if we attract the right kind of tenants.
And if you have somebody here to attract them.
Right.
You can't have a stagnant economic development advisory board running economic development in the county. You need a solid staff, which we do not have, to run economic development, county and city,
And actually have plans that
and actually
come
work
to
it.
fruition.
Yes. So there's a lot of speculation on what can be done and what can't be done. The good thing is the basics are there. They have done a good job on planning what they're doing. It's just how it's been done and why it's taken so long, and now it's not being used.
Right.
Marketing is not the marketing. We have a marketing with the county. If you see their marketing, tremendous marketing, but we're not getting out and selling it.
Well, therein lies the problem. I mean, it's you may have the best marketing staff on the face of the planet. If you don't have a plan for actually exposing the rest of the world to that marketing, then it's pretty useless.
Well, you're absolutely right, and and I'll tell you something. I agree with you. I think Chief specifically, under Greg's direction, has done a good job of, in this and a number of other projects. But somebody's got to beat the streets and knock on the doors and say, hey, we're here. Come see us.
But one of the things we talked about with Greg Snook and Chief, great group of people, but there needs to be a Hagerstown, Washington County commercial group put together, like you had the Washington County Industrial Foundation. There needs to be a commercial foundation. Needs to get a bunch of young guys, guys with money. You need to get those guys in and start promoting what Chief used to do to start Governor Lane Boulevard, to start all of the different business parks and industrial parks in the county. That needs to be done in and around the city of Hagerstown. And for whatever reason, the leadership isn't there, county or city, or with Chief, that wants to make that happen.
So I was interested in reading the Herald Mail article on this subject that there was a quote that said work on the next phases is expected to begin in 2018, quote, and beyond. So I don't think anybody has an idea of when that's going to happen. What makes me just a little bit nervous, and I know we're about out of time here, but I mean, if you think about from an investment standpoint, this is the time to invest. Interest rates are low. We're never going to get better financing than we are today. Just my opinion.
Next up on the flip side, standardized school testing. Here today, here to stay. We return in 3 minutes.